Yo, yo, yo. What up, Raider Nation? Welcome in to another exciting episode of the Raider Ragu show. Week 3 in the books. Raiders lost another one. Really got embarrassed. Let's talk about it. But first, like, share, comment, subscribe. And then let's not forget our sponsor, shebangboutique.com. Go over there and get your girl something fly. Do that for me. And on the audio portion, please put it on auto download, whether it be on Apple, Spotify, or whatever you have. Bam. All right, Raider Nation. So, first and foremost, it was a huge letdown. All right. It didn't look very competitive at all. It looks like at some points in the game, I was saying these guys are not competing like Pete Carroll, claims and it has built his program on competing. These guys didn't really compete on Sunday. So the first glaring thing, the O line. None of them had a good game, right? You know how sometimes you could say, yeah, everybody except whatever, put Lyman in here, but all of them got beat at least once or twice. The all of them got beat once or twice, man. The interior right there, which I talked about. Now this is going on 2 seasons now. All right, I said that the guard play needed to improve. What did they do? Nothing. They came back with the same guys and tried to make us believe that what we were seeing last year wasn't true, right? They did not address the guard position. I guess you could kind of say they did with Alex Kappa, but Kappa was coming off having a bad season with the Bengals, and Kappa was not the answer. Kappa is worse than what we already had here, and I think that showed yesterday. They just get overpowered. If they're not getting overpowered, they getting you know, swam or just outquicked and just beat. Just getting beat, bro. They don't look strong. Like nobody is strong for their position. I think JPJ got a decent amount of strength, but none of the guys that played yesterday seem like they are even that strong, man. The Commanders constantly were playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, right? Line of scrimmage is here. They were pushing it back a yard or two. And then we trying to run the ball with Genty, and he can't even get the ball without getting, hit or trying to make a move on somebody. And whenever he didn't have to do that, he had good runs. He had runs where he got good yardage out of it, right? So the O line, I don't know. We have what we have. So it's not like the cavalry is coming or something. Like somebody is, we got somebody that's injured that's about to change everything. Like JPJ did not play, even though he could have. And, maybe it will be better when he gets back in there, man. I hope it can't really get any worse. They did not look this bad versus New England. However, New England, it's not a playoff team. The last 2 weeks, the Raiders have played playoff teams from last season. And it shows you that the Raiders simply aren't ready up front. Somebody on my comments said that the Raiders are soft. And you know what, man? I got to agree with that. I have to agree with that, especially on offense. We're soft. We're a soft team, man. We're not tough. Teams feel like they can have their way with us, pause. So teams feel like they can just, get up on us and blitz and make it happen like that all day. And people feel like they can just run on our defense. So you're not and I'm just going by the Chargers and the Commanders game plan, right? The Chargers weren't so bad. They didn't really beat us up. With the Chargers, Geno really killed us. We played a much better game against the Chargers than they played yesterday. Now, it could have been a little bit of fatigue, but you can't use that as an excuse in the National Football League, man. Everybody travels. Everybody has that unfavorable turnaround sometimes. So, yeah, we played on Monday and then had to fly to D.C. to play the game on Sunday. So the travel day took a day of rest and practice away, if you want to say that. But, hey, man, it's grown man tackle foot. You got to be ready. And you certainly can't just come and lay an egg like that. So let's get into it, man. Right off the bat, special teams let us down, right? Got the big run from Debo. Later on, they end up having a punt return all the way to the crib. So O-line's playing terrible, and the special teams units had a bad day. Now, coming into this game, when I did the preview, one of my main points was tackling, right? It was mostly I was talking about tackling Debo, but tackling, right? And Debo right away. They didn't tackle him. He got loose on the kick return for 69. Later on, Debo had caught something and was running with it. But, and I'm going to show this, the Debo, we didn't hear from him after the second quarter, really, after Jeremy Chin knocked the piss out of him on the sideline. And that's what you have to do, right? So the defense established themselves right there when they did that. Unfortunately, though, minus the two special teams plays, we're going to call the kick return and the punt return, the defense did give up 3 big plays, man. Big splash plays, right? And I'm going to show them. But it was the kick return, the long run, the punt return, and then they gave up the long pass. And then just to kill it all off, they gave up another long pass. Other than that, they played fairly well. They were being physical. They were there for the fight. Yeah, they had given up some yards, but it was these big chunk plays that really killed them. So here are the plays.
Raiders is happening as Deebo Samuel grabs it inside the Washington 5. That splits right up the middle. Deebo Samuel all across midfield. Inside the 30. And down he goes. Rush yards. Time of possession. And now you're in a tie game. And they work it around to Deebo Samuel, who's trying to turn that corner. And hit near the out-of-bounds marker by Jeremy Chin. Chris Moore in motion. Straight ahead run. And tough yard still on his feet. Jeremy McNichols. I don't think they're going to get him. And he is in for those. A punt, his 5th punt this game. And Lane is going to go back inside the 10. Here comes a flag dropped right away. And Jalen Lane gets past Cole the punter. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown.
It.
And here throwing it because he wants to close the game out, but instead McCaffrey will take it into the end zone.
So, yeah, that's basically the story of the game right there. Those 5 plays. those don't happen, the Raiders are in this game. I'm not gonna say they will win. They're in it because they would have had a chance to win had those 5 plays not happened that you just saw. Anyway, man, moving on. So I talked a lot of crap about Trey Tucker, and I think he heard me. He watches the show. He tunes in. He's a friend of the program, obviously, because he did everything that I was talking about. He did it the opposite, right? So he was reliable. He made big catches. He made a difference. He did not fair catch the punts. This is all I wanted him to do. Just be a player out there, bro. You see, you didn't get hit too hard. But I must say, man, you balled. You had a fantastic afternoon. And I want you to continue to play like that, man. And you know, I shouldn't have to talk about you like that for you to have a good game. But shout out to Trey Tucker, man. He had an outstanding game. And, you know, he heard me talking stuff about him, about giving Dante his spot and basically just getting him out of there. And then he responded, man. So you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he saw the show and he took it personal. He took it upon himself to show Raider Ragu what time it was. And I'm sure his coaches had said something to him about it too, because he wasn't playing well. Offensively, if the O-line had played better, the Raiders could have possibly done some good things. But Geno was simply running for his life all day long, man. It was sad, man. Like I said, nobody had a good game. I can't point to anyone and say that they got their assignment just about every time. It was a lot of exposure there. Kappa got exposed. Dylan Parham continues to get exposed. Jordan Meredith missed blocks. DJ Glaze missed blocks. DJ Glaze gave up sacks and pressures. Colton Miller gave up pressures as well and a sack, if I'm not mistaken. So Geno, you know, poor guy, man, was running for his life. He did much better as far as taking care of the football. He managed to throw for the 3 touchdowns, right? Under heavy duress. So shout out to Geno, man. We just need to put this whole thing together. The offensive line has got to play better. The defense has to play 4 quarters of sound, concentrated foot where they're not having mental lapses and letting big plays happen. And then we can't have the special teams mental lapses, man. So we got to get the special teams playing like they usually do. Defense playing a complete game with no mental lapses. And the offensive line, man, fine. You guys got to decide that you're going to be better. I know you can't get stronger overnight, but you can decide that you're not going to just be getting pushed around. You can decide that you will go as hard as you possibly can every single down. You can decide that you will not let your quarterbacks and running backs get tattooed, get hit as hard as they do, man. I remember I did a video before the season started. I was talking about Brendan Carroll as the O-line coach. And, you know, was that nepotism hire? And is that, you know, is it really helping the Raiders, or is just Petey giving his son a job? And right now, man, I gotta say it just sounds like Pete just gave his boy a job. No improvement. Matter of fact, you could say some of these dudes that was on the team last year, like DJ Glaze, has regressed. You know, I really feel like DJ Glaze was playing better last year, man. Maybe I'm tripping. You guys will let me know in the comments. Please let me know if I'm tripping. But I thought DJ Glaze played better last year, at least through these first couple games. I even thought Parham played a little bit better last year. Parham has really just started the year off stinking up the field, man. Really. And then they made their little change with Jackson Powers Johnson and Jordan Meredith, like they knew something the other coaches didn't or something. You know what I'm saying? Turns out that was nothing. That they didn't see anything. Matter of fact, everybody's saying just put Jackson Powers Johnson back at the center. So Brendan Carroll, Pete Carroll, Joe Philbin, Spy Tech, whoever was in on that, Chip Kelly. You guys thought you saw something with Meredith playing center. You didn't see anything, man. You put the shit back like it was, man. You guys didn't see anything. It's worse. They're blocking worse than they were when you guys got here. So overall, man, they got to figure out how to play better. That's the bottom line. The O-line has got to get better. They got to figure it out. If they are going to continue to play like this, and I don't mean to be all gloom and doom, but if they're going to continue to play like this, man, the Raiders are not going to have a very good season, man. We already won one game, but don't look forward to too many more wins if the O-line can act together, man, because this is ridiculous, bro. Gino's out there running for his life. Genty barely had any holes. He got, he had like 17 carries. I believe they said 11 times he got hit at or behind the line of scrimmage. Come on, bro. Dude can't get off like that, man. Then you got dudes on TV talking about he's a bust or whatever. Man, you can't even really say that because the O-line is not getting the push right now. We got to revamp this O-line next year. But as for right now, this year, we got to go with what we got. And, oh, man, they got to make a decision, man, that they're not just going to cost the Raiders a season. Because the Raiders are not going to able to be successful. They're not going to be able to compete with this O-line, man, playing like this. They have to improve. They have to block better. And we got burned again by another backup QB, which seems to be like an issue with Raiders from time to time. And yeah, I know we've beat backup QBs, but it's just too many times, man, these backup dudes come in and have these fantastic games. Yeah, you look at the on paper, Mariota only threw for like 200, but it was a very efficient and smooth 200, and he ran that offense like better than Jaden Daniels almost, man. He, maybe he was getting a little revenge for us releasing him or whatever. I don't know, but Mariota kind of killed us. And the defense got a turnover there on the big fumble, or this could have been even a worse loss. They could have got 48 put on them, like the other guys did. Somebody got 48 put on them, I believe, the Falcons or somebody. Anyway, man, frustrating Monday after, but not all gloom and doom. Genty did get some daylight. He looked good. Bowers gets a little chance to get a little more healthier. Michael Mayer did get knocked out there. Then he woke up. So he's in a concussion protocol. Hope he's all right. And, I said get Ian Thomas in there, but I didn't mean for him to get hurt. I wasn't saying that, get hurt, get a concussion like that. It looked kind of scary. But he jumped up and walked off on his own power. So he's good. And shout out to Tucker, man. I know you heard me. And, hey, just hit my line, man. If you need me to go on and talk about you prior to the game for you to play well, man, let me know, man. I got you. I'll do that for you. But, yeah, he had an awesome game. So shout out to Trey. Defense, you got to get the mental lapses out of there. And it's always on the Blue Kelly side. So I know, they feel he's a young player that never started or wherever bounced around the league. So they testing him. So just be ready, Blue. Be ready, right? They're going to hit you with some hitches, and then they're going to streak that guy by you. It's going to happen every game. They're going to try it. But overall, the Raiders just got to get better, man. On offensive line, you got to get bigger, tougher, something. You're not going to get bigger. You're grown men. You're not going to get bigger. But you need to get tougher. You just need to make some decisions, man. And that's really all I got for you guys, man. It was a bit of an embarrassment. 5 big plays did us in. Special teams wasn't ready to play. Overall, the Raiders got to get tougher. That's all I got for you, man. Just win, baby. Peace.